Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this week's Tuesday review video, we're going to be taking a look at the SHEGLAM by Shein Complexion Pro Long-Lasting Breathable Matte Foundation. Now you might notice that this video is titled Testing instead of Review and Demo. That is because I've actually only been able to wear this foundation once because I don't have a full bottle of it. I only have these little sample packets. So on the Shein website, we will get into this, but you can purchase little sample packets to find your right shade before you commit to the whole bottle. So my sister actually bought the 3 lightest shades, and she gave me the lightest shade, which is porcelain. Now, shortly after receiving this, I promptly lost it. So Sam, having already used the second lightest shade, gave me the 3rd lightest shade, which is called Shell. And that is what I have close-ups and demo footage for you here today. The only reason I have the porcelain packet now is because it magically reappeared yesterday. So I have something to hold in this video, but it is not the foundation I'm wearing right now, because I have only tried it once. So like I said, the shade that I'm using in this video, in the demo, and in the wear tests, is the 3rd lightest shade, Shell, which is a little bit too dark for me, but I bet you this porcelain shade is too light for me, so I'm probably the in-between shade, Fair. On the Shein website, you can get these sample packets for $1, or you can get 3 packets for $1.29. So what are you gonna do? And then if my notes here are right, the full-size bottle is $12, and in that full-size bottle you get 30 grams or 1.05 fluid ounces. So if we do just take that quick look at it on the website, this is the SHEGLAM Complexion Pro Long-Lasting Breathable Matte Foundation. It comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, I think it's 20 shades, right? I think so. You look at the swatches on the foundation page. I mean, it's not the most extensive shade range, but at least they have like a good amount of shades. A few light shades, a few medium shades, a few dark shades. They could use a couple more dark shades in my opinion, and it could go darker, but it's not the worst shade range I've ever seen, and it's definitely better than a lot of our drugstore foundations, if we're being honest. What does it say here? A long-wearing, waterproof, smudge-proof, full-coverage foundation. Introducing the all-new SHEGLAM Complexion Pro Long-Lasting Breathable Matte Foundation. This next level water and sweat-proof formula is free of fragrance and packed with non-pore clogging ingredients like CBD oil, while also remaining breathable and lightweight on the skin. Each face-loving shade delivers a semi-matte, filter-like finish for a look that's flawless yet natural every time you apply it. Wear this long-wearing buildable foundation to the gym or to a night out with the girls. It's a complexion-perfecting pro no matter where the day or night takes you. It claims to be 100% cruelty-free, says that their manufacturers do not affiliate or use ingredients from sources that are not cruelty-free. I don't know how much I buy the cruelty-free thing. I mean, there's no regulations behind what is cruelty-free and what isn't, and I know in China it's like mandatory to test on animals or something like that, and most Shein products are made in China, but it says it's cruelty-free. I'm gonna be honest with you, for some reason I had really low expectations of this foundation. I think it's just because like things like Shein and Wish, like they have this like stigma behind them because they're so inexpensive and it's like straight from China that it's gonna be terrible quality, but actually I've liked a lot of the things that I've got from both Shein and Wish, and I kind of like this foundation too. Typically, I'm not a full coverage matte foundation kind of girl, so this isn't my usual go-to type of foundation, but it's pretty good at what it does, honestly. It's not a particularly heavy formula, but it does have quite the high level of coverage. And it does go pretty matte, but it doesn't go so matte to the point where I felt like my dry sections of my face were drier. It was just more matte there than the oily spots, you know? I have pretty combination skin. I get pretty oily on my forehead and then very dry on my cheeks. And it wasn't as awful on my cheeks as I usually expect a matte foundation to be, so I really appreciated that. And it didn't, I don't know, like, my forehead wasn't completely dried out. I still had a little bit of my natural oils, and that's the way I like it to look, you know? So I still look like natural skin, but it did have quite heavy coverage. I will say that unfortunately the packet did only have enough foundation in it for me to do my face once, but I think it looked pretty good overall. The only things that I might say as cons is the longer I wore it, I noticed at sort of near the end of the day-ish that I could smell something a little weird. It's not a necessarily bad or offensive smell, but the longer I wore it, the more it smelled kind of waxy on my face. I could smell it. It was weird. I was trying to explain it to my sister, and I was like, I feel like I don't smell like me. I feel like I smell like a different person, like I'd been body snatched or something. But eventually, I figured it out that it was the foundation, and because it was like on my upper lip, right, I could smell it. But it wasn't awful. I just needed to figure out where the smell was coming from. So it did smell a little bit waxy the longer I wore it, and the more it mixed with my natural oils and got used to my skin. And then the only other thing I would say is my sister, she said she felt like it emphasized her texture on her face. Now, that could be because she doesn't wear full coverage either, so maybe she was just seeing all this, like, full coverage and this sort of matte. And you know how sort of matte or like really powdered skin looks when it's full coverage, right? It does look sort of emphasized. Any sort of problem area looks emphasized, and that's usually why I stick to more natural, dewy-ish finish foundations, because it usually just plumps things up. I think that might have been what she was seeing because she's not used to dry or full coverage, but that is something to keep in mind. It might look heavy on your skin is what I'm thinking. Maybe she was looking at it and she felt like it looked heavy because it is such full coverage. But overall, I actually don't think it's a bad foundation. It looked pretty good. It held up pretty well through a whole day. Being matte, it means it's more likely to be transfer proof. I'm not sure if it is transfer proof. I can't see it being transfer proof if I'm being honest. It was like it didn't dry down super duper matte. Semi matte's a good way to put it, so I could see it transferring onto a face mask or something. But it was overall a nice foundation. If I didn't already have a stupid amount of foundations, I would actually consider buying this one just to add to my collection. But because it's full coverage, because it's semi-matte, and because I have a stupid amount of foundation, like I just don't feel the need to buy it. But if I ever pared down my collection more and I wanted something more matte and more full coverage, this would definitely be a foundation that I would consider purchasing for myself in an actual full-size bottle, probably in that shade Fair, because it actually is pretty good and it looks pretty nice. And I feel like especially if I mix it with a moisturizer, or I took it on my face in like smaller doses, like I just used it in areas that needed more coverage, I might like it even better, rather than just putting it all over my face and feeling a little too, like I have too much makeup on, which is, I mean, look at me. Wearing too much makeup isn't usually something I struggle with, but if I'm wearing a semi-matte foundation that's full coverage all over my face, it can feel a little much. But overall, I do like it. As you can tell, I'm trying very hard to explain to you my own personal biases and how I don't know that I'm ever gonna like a full coverage matte foundation, but for what it is, I actually think it does a pretty decent job, especially at the price. It's one that I like, and if I knew someone was looking for an inexpensive, semi-matte foundation with lots of coverage, this would be one that I would suggest that they buy the samples of, just to try it out. And it's only $1.29 for 3 samples, so why not, right? Anyway, those are my thoughts on the SHEIN SHEGLAM. What's it called? It's got 1,000 names. SHEIN SHEGLAM Complexion Pro Long-Lasting Breathable Matte Foundation. Can we please just start giving foundations shorter names? Like, why do all these brands just put every single adjective they can find in a foundation name? Oh, also, if you buy the sample, there's a code on the back, and it gives you 15% off if you buy the big bottle. I know 15% off is not a lot. Even in Canada here, it's like not even the tax. But, I mean, it's something, right? Yeah, anyway, those are my thoughts on the SHEGLAM Complexion Pro Long-Lasting Breathable Matte Foundation. I like it. It's pretty good. It's not my typical cup of tea when it comes to a foundation, but it's not bad. And I do like it. And I might buy the full-size bottle in the future. I hope that's clear. I hope that explains something to you. And most importantly, I hope you liked this video. Make sure you let me know in the comment section below what you thought, what you think of this foundation, what you think of foundations in general. I would love to hear your thoughts on anything makeup related down below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you have not subscribed already. And I will see you next time. Bye!